All right. So another common phrase that men say that are huge red flags, and I'm just going to warn you, some of you have said this yourselves, and that is, let's just go with the flow. All right. Now, for any of you who have read my book, He's Lying, Sis, which I'll put the link below so you can get it if you want to get your own copy. I talk about the whole going with the flow issue. I even mentioned that in my other book, The Man God Has for You, as well. But the point is, I say it's a very dangerous phrase, and you can't just ignore that being said. Now, before I get into why, I understand some of you may not think it's a big deal because, as I mentioned, you yourself may have said, let's just go with the flow. You yourself was like, all right, I'm just trying to enjoy myself right now. But think about that. Think about the fact that where were you mentally and emotionally when you just wanted to go with the flow? There's a very good chance that you either wanted companionship, right? But you did not want the seriousness of what you felt may, and even the headaches that you feel come with relationships, right? So you're just like, I just want to enjoy myself, not even think about it, not stress about anything. Which, again, if two grown adults want to agree to that, that's their choice. The problem is if at least one of those adults really is trying to date intentionally and want something serious, well, this is a huge risk and a huge problem because typically that go with the flow has a very low probability of turning into, okay, yeah, I want something serious now and let's make it happen. Not saying it's impossible, but very low likelihood. And so if you were in that mindset when you said those types of things, for those of you who have, well, imagine where he's at, right? So when he's being that vague, and the reality is that the majority, not all, but the majority of men who use the go with the flow phrase have no intentions of trying to be serious with you. All right, none. And they don't want to be held to any expectation of it. So the go with the flow eliminates that. All right, it's just like, hey, let's just have fun, enjoy ourselves, whatever. Whatever happens, happens. Okay? And that way, if you start to then develop deeper feelings and want something serious, he can always fall back on, well, I never told you I wanted to do anything serious with you. I never told you I was looking for a girlfriend. I never told you I was interested in marriage. All I told you was, let's just go with the flow. And you can't hold them to anything. You know what I'm saying? At least you're going to have a hard time doing so. So with that said, you really got to ask yourself, if a man says that to you, are you genuinely okay with that? Or are you going along with it because you feel like, well, if he just wants to go with the flow and I'm over here saying, well, I'm looking for something serious or whatever, it's going to run him away. And I always say, you can't run a man away who wants to be serious about you. And if that's what you're interested in, that's what you're looking for, you got to stand on it. You know how they say stand on business? Like, that's the business you have to stand on. You can't deviate from that because now you're going to end up putting yourself in this cycle of dead-end relationships. And there was one time I read this book and it mentioned how one of the common themes of women who want marriage and are successful in getting there is they don't waste their time in dead-end relationships, meaning relationships that are not going to go anywhere. They're not going to proceed to that level. And to do that, you have to do things like properly evaluate these men as quickly as possible, as well as having an internal deadline as to what is long enough before he has to make a decision on where he wants to go with this. You can't let things drag out because I've seen go with the flow turn into 1, 5, 10 years. Yes, some people 10 years in a relationship or in a situationship, however you want to frame it, without any level of real commitment, without ever knowing, okay, if we're going to go to that next level with each other, and just now feeling this high level of unhealthy attachment that's difficult to walk away from because the woman has invested so much time and energy into this man. And I don't want that to happen to you because all that does is take you off the path that you belong on and take you away from having a much better chance at receiving what you truly desire from a man who's actually on the same page as you. So again, I'll give you this suggestion. If he says, let's go with the flow, you can't be afraid to say, nah, I don't do that over here. All right. Like, that doesn't work for me. What's the intention? What are you looking for? Just be real with me and let's make a decision if we want to move forward with this. Again, can we guarantee every man will be honest? No, but I think the man who's not looking to be serious more times than not in today's world is not going to make that proclamation when he has no intention of it. So if you put him on a spot where he has to give you some real level of what's his intention, it's going to expose or show more clearly he's just not on that. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. So there's a quote I love to post a lot that says, the same red flags you ignore in the beginning are the same red flags that will end your relationship. And this is so very true. I see it all the time.